Something we're hearing a lot of these days is a decision on whether people should move up into a new house or renovate their current house. And so here are 4 things that we think you should consider when you're making that decision in 2022.
Yeah. Number 1 is needs. What do you need that you don't have right now? If you're going to renovate, if you're going to make a change, what will you need in the short term, and what predictable changes are there for you and your family in the long term? Projecting 5 years you're going to be there or 10 years going to be there. Need to think about that and talk about that as a family. So that's short and long term needs. Number 2 is feasibility. In other words, is it possible? What do you control and what don't you control? People seem to overlook some of the things that they don't control. And the things that they don't pay attention to, like wetlands, the possibility of, private or public sewer challenges, septic challenges, also
layout challenges.
Layout challenges are huge. In other words, how can you get the property to work for you? And of course, the challenges of actually scheduling things and making things happen.
Yeah, exactly. And so the third thing we think, which kind of is related to feasibility, is it possible, is, what does it cost to actually do? And we always advise that, take into account the hard costs, obviously. We know building costs are high right now. We know that the cost of building labor is high right now. Permits. But also, permits are very high and they can take a while. But also take into account the time costs and the inconvenience cost. Obviously, if this is your current residence, you're living there now. And if depending on the size of the renovation and how major it is, you might either have to move out, go into temporary housing, or at least inconvenience your life while you live in the house that's being renovated. So those are some costs to take into consideration beyond just what it costs to actually complete the renovation to your needs. And the final thing to look out for, obviously, is return. We meet with people every single week who are asking this same question. Should I renovate my current house or move to a new place? And one of the biggest areas that we can help is in terms of return. We can tell you what's going to possibly be the value of the property, obviously, once you do the renovation, but also help you along the way if you do choose to renovate, in helping you make decisions that are going to make your your house worth the most to that next buyer when the time does come. So keeping in mind the return on your investment, also in terms of meeting your own needs, is very important.
Yeah, and I just don't want you to lose sight of the fact that when it's all said and done, you better love the place. It better be what you really, a blend of what you need and what you dream of. So that's really my final thought.
Yeah, so those are the 4 things to consider if you're thinking of moving up or renovating your current house in 2022. Reach out to us if you have any questions or to go over how we might be able to help you make a plan.